You just got done saying something stupid or awkward or silly, and now you have to sit there and think about how awkward you just made it, or you just want to get out of the situation as soon as possible. Especially, you're going to be thinking about that when you're trying to fall asleep later tonight. These cycles we put ourselves in from social anxiety and stuff like comparing ourselves to others and worrying about what others think is what ends up giving a lot of us a lot of pain in our lives that really we don't need to, because a lot of us think it's just how it goes for them, or it's just something they can't break out of, because it's as basic as you say something silly and now you feel awkward. Do you really need to suffer as much as you make yourself suffer in those moments? No. And why no? Reality, there's two things at hand. One, it's not that big of a deal. Most people don't take that type of stuff very seriously, and I'm sure you're a similar person in that boat. When someone is in a conversation with you and they say something a little bit awkward, how do you feel about it? You don't feel maybe a little bit awkward, but you end up giving it 30 seconds. Most people, they just end up dropping it immediately. It becomes like sometimes multiple day thing that you think about. And you don't need to, because it's all in your mind. The thing about our mind is it's both our biggest tool and has the potential. The thing about our minds, it has the potential to be our biggest enemy and our best friend / best tool. And it's how you interact with it, ultimately, is what ends up mattering. Because it's not a fruitless journey to work on yourself. And guess what? We all have a lot of things we can work on ourselves, but a lot of us just don't realize that a lot of these things about ourselves are as permanent as anything else in life. Not permanent at all. We can fix them. We can change them. We can manipulate them. Because ultimately our mind is just a machine that we give inputs, it produces outputs based on what we feed it. While we talk about drawing conclusions isn't necessarily a bad thing. Drawing conclusions within ourselves, rational ones. Again, like I said, our mind can be our best friend or our worst enemy, depending what we feed it. So for example, you could pick up that you're doing something, maybe you pick up that you're procrastinating on something that has been procrastinated on long enough, really needs to get done in the next few days. Drawing that conclusion with yourself that you need to go do it, and you need to go do it right now, or by the end of today. They're the type of conclusions you're going to want to be using in your life as a tool. Anything outside of something like that is usually more harm than good. At least is what I've ended up experiencing during my highs and lows, and even normal parts of my life. So keep in mind, guys, that everyone is on their own journey in life, and everyone's journey is going to be a lot different. Even comparing journeys to people close to you, they're still doing their own thing on their own journey in life, And what I mean when I say that is, bringing up the point again, is no one really, is worrying about you when you, at all, for the better and for the worse, which basically means, if you're going to worry about someone, what someone else thinks, you're ultimately, that's just always going to be a waste of time, no matter how you want to frame it to yourself or justify it to yourself. But yeah, start thinking about that mindset just think about what type of mindset you bring to situations when things get a little awkward. And I also want you guys to think about how you guys view your journey in life, and what type of things you bring to the table in your life, as far as thoughts, behaviors, actions. Question yourself, you know, how worth or how helpful are these things? As far as that, I appreciate you guys watching again, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, you guys.